Welcome to Here to Serve, a United Regional podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Graves. My favorite part of being the Director of Patient Experience at United Regional is the incredible people that I meet and work with on a daily basis, and I want you to meet them too. Join us to meet the people behind the badge and to highlight those who are here to serve. Johnny Roberts, welcome to Here to Serve podcast. Glad to have you today, man.
Ryan Graves, happy to be here.
So I gotta
try to not make you regret it.
We'll see. You're one of the first people that came to my mind, to be honest, whenever we started talking about a podcast. I thought, man, I want to get Johnny Roberts on because you are somebody that I look up to. I know a lot of others in the organization look up to you. You're a great leader. But more than that, what one of the things I admire about you is just who you are outside of your role at United Regional. So I want to actually start there and talk a little bit about Johnny Roberts outside of United Regional. We'll get to United Regional stuff here in a little bit, but I've had the privilege of getting to know you personally outside of the role, and so I know you're a husband, father, even a grandfather now. Man. What do they call you?
Pop.
I'm Pop.
Okay.
And so it's really, really cool just to get to watch you be a dad. But speaking of two sons, Darian.
Yep.
Is that right? And Ryan?
Darian Ryan actually is his name, right?
Darian Ryan.
Yes.
Okay.
About half the population calls him Darian. They'll call him Ryan, and then Chase.
Chase
is my youngest. Yeah.
Now tell me, which of those does Collective Coffee?
That'd be Ryan.
Ryan. Okay.
Ryan is friend Mason. Yeah.
Okay. And we're drinking Collective Coffee today. Yeah. This episode brought to you by
Collective Coffee.
Just kidding. We don't have any sponsors.
Doubt.
Our tens of viewers haven't brought in sponsors
there
yet.
You go.
But if you're out there watching this and you want to sponsor the Here to Serve podcast, please reach out to my agent.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist.
Your agent?
Yeah. I don't know.
What was you say? Is that Christy?
Yes. Christy Faulkner.
The one that warned you about having me on the podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember.
Reach out to Christy Faulkner. We'll be glad to have a sponsor. But if you haven't had Collective Coffee, it's really good coffee.
It's good stuff. It spoils me. My son is.
Now, do they make you pay?
Let's just say I'm prepaid.
Okay. It's a long-term investment.
I'm prepaid.
Yeah.
I'm prepaid. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
They know me there. Not Cheers. Norm at Cheers when I go into Collective. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's a good feeling.
Now, is he the same one that's a musician?
He is.
Yeah.
Actually, he is.
I heard him play just recently. I've heard him a couple times.
He did. He's a very talented artist. He's honed that skill over the years. He lived the life of a musician in Austin for years.
I didn't know
a lot of live music. Still plays a lot. Still records a lot.
Now, where did this come from? Are you a musician?
Oh, in my heart.
Yeah.
Dude, in my heart, I'm a musician. I sound great in the car with the radio turned really loud. I got it. In my heart, I'm a musician. I have probably no skill set whatsoever. I plunk around the guitar a little bit, but only for myself.
Okay.
And
what about your wife?
She can sing.
She can
really sing. She doesn't sing publicly, but she can really sing. I think he probably got his voice from his mom.
Okay.
Yeah. It's interesting as you see your kids grow, and you probably see this as you feel these little bits and pieces of each of you and in them, right?
Yeah.
So my sons have, and they've both got a lot of their mom in them, thankfully. God, thank you. But they all have different pieces of me. At my heart, I'm a musician like my son. I want to be an artist. I want to do those sort of things. As a matter of fact, if I ever leave United Regional, it's because he made it big, and I'm going to go be a roadie for him, right? Nice. So I can be there.
Yeah.
And then my other son, Chase, he's got more of the kind of the business side of me. He's more analytical. He may be a bit more the warrior, kind of like I am, and that sort of thing. But both of them own small business entrepreneurs, but they got a little bit of both of me.
That's really beautiful.
Well, already both better men than I am, so it does a dad proud.
I can tell, I can see just in the and I don't know your sons well. I've met both of them in passing and been to the coffee shop, heard them perform, and I can just see anytime I talk to you, the proud dad comes out, and it's a beautiful thing.
I will risk sounding like a Ben Rector song, but you asked about the Me Out of Here, man. I'm the richest man in the world.
Yeah, right.
I really am, dude. I've had the pleasure of almost over the course of 4 decades living with my best friend, my wife. That's a really cool thing. The relationship I have with my sons now is so much different, than what it was now that they're adults. Mm-hmm. But to have that kind of great relationship with my sons, and then they married two beautiful women that have become my daughters. It's just crazy cool thing to have daughters now that I've never had. And then they both have a girl and a boy both, so I have two granddaughters, two grandsons. We celebrated Lily Jane's birthday last night. She turned 6, and it's an amazing time. But richest man in the world. It's good stuff.
That's awesome.
Good stuff.
Totally agree. And that comes through. And this is one of the things I just love about this idea of podcasting for United Regional is to get to talk to folks like you that anybody, most of the people that know you at United Regional, unless they work closely with you, they know the businessman Johnny that runs URPG, which we'll talk about in a little while, but they don't know outside of there the artist, the father, the husband, the pop, and so it's really cool. So one of the things that I saw in your office years ago that we've had a little bit of a conversation about, but I want to pick your brain about it a little more. I think about it often, and I may get this wrong, so tell me if I get this wrong. What I think though is that your wife printed this up for you or said it to you or something. And I might be sharing inside information here because it's not that visible. It's not like posting on a bulletin board. It's like behind your door. If you're leaving your office, there's a little note on the wall that says "thick skin, soft heart." And I saw that one day, and I stopped me. And I turned around, I'm like, you got to tell me what that is. So where did that come from?
Yeah, you got to pay attention to that to see my office because really it's not really meant for anybody else, really. For me, it's a reminder for me. It's I don't know if you'd call it a totem, it's just a reminder, and it really predates my history at United Regional. I mean, that's my wife has been my counselor, my mentor, my teacher in a lot of different ways over the course of our years. But ever since I've been in some sort of management position in the early '90s, yes, I am old. So many of the times we talk about the struggles you have when you're dealing with the things that you do when you try to be a leader.
Right.
And it's that thick skin, soft heart approach. And I don't think Denise actually probably coined that phrase. I mean, maybe she did, but I think she probably picked a place. But for years now, that's been the reminder she's given me is like, babe, you've got to develop a thick skin. Don't personalize things. But the balance of that is you can't become jaded in your heart too. You can't let your heart become hardened.
Right.
That you don't feel, that you can't understand, that you can't empathize with the folks that you're intended to lead, the folks that you're trying to serve. Because if you do, you become ineffective. I like to tell you that I've got that perfected over the decades of being a manager or a leader. That hey, I can tell you that this is how you do it, and there's a formula for that. I have failed so many times, and I think we all go through seasons where I'm probably more thick-skinned than I am soft-hearted.
Sure.
And vice versa.
Right.
And I personalize things, but that thing that you see on my wall it's a reminder for me. I would consider that thick skin, soft heart an aspirational statement.
I like it.
More than anything else, because it's something I haven't achieved, I'll probably never achieve, but it's an aspirational statement, a reminder for me as well. And I've got, if you look around my office, and it's not always in some places that's noticed for other people. It's mainly there kind of for me. You'll find across my office, I've got little printed scriptures that I've got stuck up from time to time. And I'll walk by them for months and not read those scriptures.
Right.
But from time to time when I need to pause and take a minute, I will pause and take a minute. And I'll look at a scripture that I put up on my wall 6 years ago that I probably hadn't really looked at in 6 years, but I'll take the moment and I'll remember the reason I put it up on the wall. And I remember what it's supposed to remind me, right? Yeah. So in my very disorganized office, I'll put it that way. There's things like that there, and they're not really there for anybody else but me. But those are just little touch bases for me to remember and recall what I need to recall at times where I need to probably pull that sort of source in.
Yeah, draw some strength from those moments. Yeah, I've noticed those things in your office. Some of them, I'm sure there's some I haven't noticed, and there's a great integrity quote in there. There's some scripture. There's the thick skin, soft heart, and I think all of those things and that having that as your source is why you've built what you've built. And I want to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But this is a good time to say, I think, your team, who you've built around you. I mean, I know many of them personally, and that they love working for you, and they love working on the things that you guys are working on, even when it's intense and crazy, and you guys are working really, really hard. They keep doing it because they have a leader who says, thick skin, soft heart, and it tries to epitomize that and teach that and pass that on. And so you got a team that, I mean, they'll literally, they want to move mountains for you. And they genuinely, not just to your face, but behind your back, because they would tell me, they love you, man. They really do, and that comes from that desire. So that's just a really thing that I admire.
Dude, if they're being honest with you, though, I'll tell you what too. If they're being really truly honest with you, they will tell you that they'll witness me fail.
Yeah.
They have witnessed me fail. They have personally witnessed me not live up to those aspirational things that I try to lead them to doing. And I think owning that a lot of times as a leader is like, and owning up to it, admitting it, and actually apologizing from time to time. It's like, what I did yesterday, that decision I made, or the things that I said, that's not the way I want to be. That's not what I want to do. And I don't know where I was going at, other than I think if you talk to the people that have been responsible in the teams that we built together, I think throughout the years, not just the one that I have right now with the Irish Physician Group, but even in my previous, the folks I've worked with previously, they'll tell you that, man, we've seen Johnny miss the mark. But I think owning that as a leader is very important as well. And I've encouraged them as well. So you make mistakes, if you're not making mistakes, you're not really probably working hard.
You're not doing
trying
anything.
things. You're not doing anything.
You're not doing anything, yeah.
But I think as a leader, the most important thing to do is, okay, I'm going to know that you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to hit the marks that you want to hit. I'm not just talking about your goals and your measure of success, but you're not going to hit the mark every day, but you got to own it. And then you do what you can to correct it. But
I totally agree, Johnny, and I've seen that from you, from your team. It's a cultural thing, and it's something that comes from integrity, and then just the freedom to make mistakes. But there's a phrase I often talk about with my wife, and we talk about it many times in relationship to parenting, but I believe it absolutely applies to leadership, and that is there's this like psychological phenomenon where if you if you make a mistake with one of your children, and you didn't do it exactly the way it was supposed to be done, maybe you got a little more upset than you should have been or whatever, when you with that child come back and say, hey, I shouldn't have gotten upset, or I shouldn't have spoken to you harshly, and you apologize and you own it and you reconcile, there's actually good data that you've actually strengthened the bond stronger than it would have even been. Now, this is not an excuse to be abusive and then apologize. It's not, not what it is. But and I've seen that same thing with my team. If in others, if you mess up and then you're authentic about it, right? Hey, I clearly missed the mark here. People absolutely love authenticity.
absolutely.
Right? They do not love perfection. They don't want perfection, because a perfect leader is somebody that I can't live up to. If they're perfect, I'm never going to be, I don't want to work for a perfect leader. I can't live up to that.
No.
But if I have an authentic leader who's trying and who is willing to say, yep, we messed up here. What can we learn from this? They can be real. I can be real. Man, that's where real growth is. And so I think, that less focus on perfection, more focus on authenticity, being real. Gosh, man, that's where it's at.
I tell you, one of the biggest blessings that I have professionally. I mean, like I said a while ago, I stand by the statement. Once again, sorry, I sound like Ben Rector, richest guy in the world. Really am. In so many ways, been the blessings that I've had professionally, especially at United Regional, is to be able to work and function with teams. I mean, there's nothing more than a blessing. I mean, even when you're through hard times, that you've got a team that you want to work with, that you believe and you trust, know you got your six and that sort of thing. Growing up, I didn't play a lot of sports. It wasn't a priority in my family. We were hard workers. I think I've had a job since I was 11, but until I really started getting into leadership myself and management, even prior to United Regional, that's when I really started getting to what the energy and the things that you could accomplish as you function as a team. And really, any success that I've had, especially United Regional right now, if I'm being honest, my skill sets are not all that high, really, especially in a healthcare setting. Honestly, I'm not a nurse. I'm not a doctor. I'm a guy with a business degree. But the success I've had professionally with United Regional is because the one thing that I've been so blessed to have been able to do is build cool teams, really good teams. Back whenever my surgery days, we had the OR. I mean, we had a team that we built in surgery that I still, those guys, and a lot of them are retired, moved on, those sort of things, that I still have a bond with, because we accomplished so much together. And it was so little about what I was able to do because I didn't have the skill sets. But just be able to pull that team together, keep the team together, to build those relationships and work in collaboration and alignment and those sort of things. It's crazy what you can get done. That's the same thing now with the United Regional Physician Group and where we are now. We've come so far from where we were in 2013, and You know,
What did you guys start? How many physicians you start with? I'm trying to remember. It was like
I got a chart for this that I'll probably show in a board meeting here in a couple of hours. But it was I think in 2013, I think there was about 10 physicians, 12 physicians, a handful. Maybe it was more. Maybe it's just under 20 physicians and a handful of advanced practice providers. We're now in 2026. A lot of growth. We'll get into that here in a minute. But it's a lot of growth. But it was pretty small. But there was. As far as leadership, we had someone that I believe had a director title, and there might have been a couple of coordinators, but that was it. And the team that we started to build and put together, and the team that continued to grow, has been phenomenal. We've been able to accomplish a lot of things and move the needle a great bit, not just in the number and the size of providers, but trying to develop. I don't want to say it's theirs because it's always a process, but developing a culture in which people want to work.
Yeah.
But it's a cool thing.
It's been incredible to watch. I remember when I was on the front line as a nurse, and I had moved into the patient advocate office from MedSurg, and I remember hearing URPG for the first time, and being like, "What's that?" They're like, "What's the physician group?" I'm like, "We have a physician group?" I mean, I didn't even know it existed. I mean, I truly, and it was just like a handful of physicians, and there's, I mean, I didn't really know anything about it. And then, you fast forward, a decade or more, and I mean, it is a booming.
This year
incredible.
we'll do, I think if you looked at our contact rate right now, we'll do 215,000 patient encounters in 2025, roughly.
Incredible.
So it's touching a lot of lives. Really making an impact on us.
I'll tell you right now, my family, I mean, we use everything available at URPG. When we use Barnett, we use Ortho, we use Burke. If there's a spot, sometimes if I need like a Care Plus visit quickly, I'm looking at what locations and I'm running over to Burke.
What the cool thing about working in an organization like ours, not just URPG, but United Regions Health, it's cool, but it's also like incredibly nerve-wracking. It's the same thing you just said, like me, and we got each other's digit. We're gonna, we got the kind of relationship. But what you just said to me, so many people, a town of 100,000 people sometimes feels like 2,000.
Yeah, for sure.
The people that I'm gonna run into in the grocery store, the people I'm gonna see at church, or the people I'm gonna talk to at the soccer fields, my grandkids. It hardly goes by that I don't stop saying, let me tell you about something, because they attach you. Once you've been a leader in that region for a while, it's like you got to own that.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
So it's really cool in the fact that, you feel like it puts you really in touch with the work that you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, what builds my resilience is that I always have the continual belief, must have the continual belief that I'm doing worthwhile, meaningful work. Mm-hmm. I get almost constant feedback that. It's like, right, and sometimes it's nerve-wracking too, because it puts a high level of accountability, right, to what we do, not just for me, anybody, right?
Yeah, anybody.
But I think that's one of the things unique to us. Maybe it's not completely unique, that makes it feel a bit different.
Well, it definitely makes us better. I think for sure, because it is personal. You're not dealing with a corporation in DFW. Which is one of the things Corey's been very passionate about, is we're going to stay fiercely independent. And I wholeheartedly back him on that, because no one cares about the community like the community members itself, right? So I'll have patients or families or somebody like that sometimes that'll say something to me about, hey, this issue happened, and they'll tell me about it. And they'll go, I know nothing's, I know you guys aren't going to do anything about it. I'm like, whoa, that's a big assumption. Why would you think that? Well, you are a big place. You got a lot going on. It's just me. It's not a big, and I'm like, no, listen, you don't understand. First of all, I'd want to do the right thing no matter what. But let me just talk, just devil's advocate for a second. This is where, when I'm sick, this is where I come. When my daughter's sick, this is where I bring my daughter. When my mom, my dad, my grandfather, both of my grandfathers have passed in this building. Yeah. This is where, my babies have been born. This is where my mom and dad, believe me.
It's a different level.
I don't want somebody here that's not doing a good job.
And
if there's a problem, I have a personal investment to get it fixed. And so does everybody else, right? Because this is where we get care. And so that's kind of a superpower, but it is pressure. It's pressure.
It's definitely pressure. Whenever you're sick, when I'm taking that on a corporate level, I think the distinction is when working with a fiercely independent, not-for-profit, community-based healthcare system like United Regional. Mm-hmm. When your CEO has to walk into a board meeting And the people sitting on that board are people who is receiving care from the organization,
It's
and
different.
their families are and their neighbors are.
Yep.
Those same sort of stories you're going to hear, the good, the bad, and the ugly,
Right.
right? So that you talk about the personal accountability that it puts on your senior leadership team with and the board itself, right? That's charged the responsibilities of making the big decisions about how we shape healthcare for our community. It's a really cool blessing.
Yeah.
But it's also pressure.
It's pressure.
It's pressure.
No,
It's
I mean,
pressure to do the right thing.
So speaking of pressure, you guys are growing at a rapid rate. Well, let me, before I go any further, let me stop. I just realized I never actually introduced your title. Tell us your exact title.
So I have, since 2013 now, so the last 12 years now, my title's been the Vice President of Physician Practice Services.
Okay.
My main responsibility in that is I serve as the Chief Administrative Executive for United Regional Physicians Group, which is the company that we have under the healthcare system umbrella by which we employ physicians. Right.
Okay.
So I've got responsibility on a corporate level for the administration of that company. Now, my responsibilities on the senior leadership team, if you've been here very long, we've got a pretty lean senior leadership team. So we're all kind of generalists, right? We do a lot of things. So, but that's my main focus. Okay. But I've been with United Region now for 20 years, celebrated my 20-year anniversary with my working brother Bob, October 31st, last month of 20 years.
And you started as surgery director?
No, actually, well, God's got a sense of humor. We all know that. But I like to tell people that my first connectivity was kind of was a calling thing that happened way back in the 90s.
Oh.
With a fresh bachelor's degree and be a flat broke. One of the 3 or 4 jobs I had at that time, I was the janitor at JCPenney's at the mall.
Nice.
So I would come in at like 4 in the morning and be out by like 10 because I
Any
clean.
pictures of that for B-roll?
Dude, I'm sure we do. You can't you can't burn enough of that stuff. Where I met a young assistant manager at JCPenney by the name of Brandon Bashir.
Oh, no way.
Dude, yeah.
No way.
So Brandon and I was a janitor in the morning, and I would leave at 10 and go to whatever my next job was. I had like 3 at that time. But Brandon and I met, became friends. We were never like really tight, but we had good conversation. We talked about, we both have kind of the same spiritual leaning. We both had so we kind of bonded a little bit. And then we just kind of separated. And Brandon and I had kind of a good relationship. Well, I wouldn't say we were like buddies. We were out, together, that kind of stuff. We were in Bible studies over the course of those years. We kept a connection. Well, in 2005, we were still connected, right? And I was in a process where he didn't know it, but I was kind of on a journey of what's next. And he caught me one time and he said, "Hey, dude, we got this thing going on in surgery. It's a new position. It's the business manager for the surgical services division." Okay. He's like, "I think you might be able to do that." And I'm like, "Dude, you're whack, man. I don't know anything about healthcare." But anyway, long story short, he got my resume and gave it to, I think it was Nancy Townley.
Okay.
So my first job here in 2005, I was the business manager for the surgical services division.
Okay.
To which probably the first 2 years, I made a whole lot of people in surgery upset.
Of course.
By asking a lot of stupid questions that the business guy would ask.
Who's this guy coming in?
So then I got promoted, had a couple of different titles in that. Before I came in 2013, I was the director of the surgical division.
Okay.
So yeah.
Awesome.
It's been a cool journey.
Yeah. So, man, I just got to say at URPG, the things that you have done, the progress that you guys have made, not only just from a growth, but just from a service standpoint. Service is near and dear to my heart as director of patient experience. Like, just to give one example, one of the most, consumer-centric things that we do as an organization is the whole idea of my chart messaging, e-visits, video visits, drive-through testing. For anybody that doesn't know about this, if you're not utilizing that, when I've got a kid that's sick, but by the time school starts, I can send a message to a provider, do an e-visit, do drive-through strep, flu, COVID screening, and before I'm back home, have my result and have a prescription waiting on me at home. I mean, that is, the consumer world that we live in, the Blue Dot consumer, the Amazon consumer, like this is matching that in a way that's just, unheard of. It's just incredible that the services that we can offer with that. And so, I mean, just I don't know, even have the words to say. It spoiled me. When I go to other healthcare systems and I can't message my provider and get a quick answer, I'm frustrated.
I would love to take credit for all that, dude. I was like, thank you very much. I did that. back to team, man. We've been so blessed to have a whole lot of smart people, innovative people, creative thinkers involved,
Yep.
great technology with Epic Training to be able to do that sort of thing. But dude, we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
We're just scratching the surface. It's there's a lot of work to be done to continue to evolve that delivery of healthcare in a way that's more, and this is kind of a dirty word sometimes, a little bit consumer centric.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is how do we make it easier for people to take good care for themselves? Those things you mentioned, I mean, that's, man, my management team, our leadership team, that they saw that, the need for that, and the need for that sort of thing really increased with the plague that was COVID.
Yeah.
Right? And it really was a way that challenged to do those sort of things. But it's really, really cool. I wish to tell you that was perfected. Now we had perfected, but we continue to try to figure out how do we do that.
Yeah.
One of our biggest challenges right now for kind of immediate access things, and let me pause for just a minute. If I got the number right, the last time I talked to our CIO about this, I think we have right now over 100,000 active MyChart users.
That's incredible.
So that's crazy, right? And we've only been on Epic since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
That's 6 years, 100,000. You think about the size of the communities we serve, that's a significant portion of our population, right? But now what we're trying to do is use our technologies to find pockets of capacity, right? If, it's not a budget thing. I would hire probably 5 or 6 more providers right now just to work in Care Plus if we could find qualified folks to go in and do that sort of thing, expand, because I believe there's much demand out there. Yeah. But now what we're starting, to use the scarce resources we have, which a lot of times as providers is, how do we go out and look through the system to find pockets of capacity and actually connect people, right, during those pockets of capacity? Because any given day during the course of a primary care day, people are going to no-show. People are going to cancel, those sort of things. And then you also have people that really need immediate access that day. So we're challenging ourselves right now with our technology and our processes and our programs to be innovative in how we find that pockets of capacity.
Yeah.
So
it's
more to come, man. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool stuff's moving in the right direction. And I've just been a personal recipient. I've received my care there, both Care Plus and then my primary physician. I've had multiple times where I just went, like I was just going to do a quick sick visit, and then that capacity thing, I was like, hey, your PCP has a canceled appointment. There's a spot. I can plug myself in and see my doctor on the same day. Like that's just
air traffic control, man.
It doesn't always happen, right?
No.
So I don't want to set the expectation out there. It's like, hey, you can just get in anytime you want. But man, sometimes it does, and it's a huge surprise, So tell me about the growth, man. I can't even keep up with how fast you guys are growing. I'm sure you can't either.
No,
it's been hard to fathom.
If you look at the chart as far as the growth in terms of providers, and we've had times where we had spurts, and we have we'll plateau for a while, and we have turnover. Sometimes physicians leave. But we're in the midst right now of what I call a significant bolus of growth.
Bolus.
That's about to happen.
It's a technical term.
It's about to happen. There you go. I used a nurse word for you. There you go. We have a bolus.
Bolus means a lot of fluids at once.
Yeah. So we're about to get what we're planning for in the next 12 months. A URPG is bringing on right about 38 new providers. Now, when I say new providers, let me preface some of that. Some of that is actually bringing in existing established providers that are in private practice right now within our community that now want to be in an employment model. So we're going to bring those providers over and give them the stability of an employment model with URPG. I think most folks know, you've seen that the CV surgeons opened their doors as URPG earlier this week. Dr. Agvan, Dr. Afneen. We're in the process of right now bringing the cardiologists on. We've got some other specialists within our community that we've got kind of in the pipeline too that we're going to be bringing over. But besides that, that's probably about 50% of that growth, 50 to 60% of that growth I'm talking about. Besides that, we continue to recruit. We've got 4 new primary care physicians that are assigned and have dates in which they're going to start in the next 12 months. We've got a couple of new advanced practice providers going to be working in primary care. We've already signed another non-interventional cardiologist that'll be with us next year, a brand new one to the community. But we're in negotiations right now with several specialists and a couple more primary care physicians for next year to bring on to be part of URPG as well. That total in itself is about 38 providers.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. It's a lot of work to do. When you see Michael Gardner, he's getting a whole lot more grade these days. That's why Mike and Charity both doing a whole lot of work there.
Let me try to connect a couple of dots right here, just because I work in a United Regional, but also just knowing lots of friends and family in the community and through church circles and whatnot. I know sometimes people not knowing what I know behind the scenes, right? Knowing you, knowing Corey, knowing our senior leadership team, knowing your heart for the community. which really the community is the heartbeat. Like you said earlier, we're trying to touch lives. You know, Corey's heart is I want to help the community. That all of our leadership, including the board, is we want to be there for the community and help the community. I know many times people on the outside, they see growth and they think, oh, well, this is just a business trying to suck up as much business as they can. And from what I see and what I understand and from behind the scenes conversations, that is just not the case at all. What I see and the conversations that I hear from you and other senior leaders is we need to have enough providers to serve this community and to have them be able to have the access that they need and the specialists that they need. And so that's where the recruitment comes from. It's not like, hey, we want more business. Although we're not, I mean, we are a business. We want business, but we want to be able to meet the demands of the community. So not only are we recruiting, but then also the providers in the community that, from my understanding, you can tell me if I've got this wrong, but from what I understand, they're at a point because of all the things happening with government, payer sources, bureaucratic stuff outside of our control, that they're either going to like, look, I got to leave the community and go find another place to practice because I can't make it on my own, or I need to work with United Regional. And so we don't want to like, hey, if we lose somebody from the community, we're losing critical access for our patients. Come work with us. We'll keep you here.
Absolutely.
And support you. And so is that all up and up? Is that accurate?
You've got it locked up pretty good. I think it's important for us to remember too that United Regional, our purpose has always been, specifically to the physician realm, to physician recruitment, has been to recruit to the community, right?
Right.
Our primary purpose is to recruit to the community. We mentioned a while ago the cardiologist. We've had a close working relationship with the cardiologist that we have in here that's been in private practice for decades. We've had a close relationship. We've helped recruit to their practices over the years, right? I will fair to guess, I'm gonna throw out a percentage that may get in trouble when the fact checkers check this, but I would estimate that, and I'm talking about non-United Regional Physician Group employees, that 90% of the physicians that are working in the community today, that's come in the last probably 20 years, United Regional has supported that. They've helped with the recruitment. They've provided financial assistance to get their practice started. So we've expended a great deal of effort and resources to bring physicians to the community. The growth of URPG, the organic growth of URPG over the course of the years has been when we recruit folks in, like specialties like primary care, they have options, right? If they're looking for an employment model, United Regional Physician Group has been that employment model. But I would estimate 90% at least we've had an assistance in bringing in. Now, what you said about this transition from private practice to employment, that is the fact of the matter. The situation is, and this is the discussion we have with the cardiologists, is we need to continue to recruit cardiologists. It's becoming harder and harder and harder to recruit cardiologists. Part of the shift, because you're right, it's a whole lot less attractive now to run a private practice than what it used to be. It's way too hard. It's not as financially viable as it once was. Contemporarily trained cardiologists now recognize that, not just cardiologists, but all physicians, and what they're looking for is, I want to take care of patients. I'll take an employment model because I don't want the burden of trying to make a private practice work.
Right.
Now that we've had, I'll just use cardiology as one example. Now that we've started that first employment model there when Dr. Obiagu joined us, and we're making this transition. We've already hired one more non-interventional doc, and we've been recruiting for years. We've got somebody to sign starts next year. We're having our applicants, now that's an option, has drastically increased. Now there's an employment model.
Wow. Nice.
So I think what we're going to see is, as we have more options for employment for some of the specialists that have been traditionally private practice, that our ability to recruit will become even greater. That to be said, we still want to continue to support private practice. I salute, I praise, I support in the way we can physicians that want to continue to run a private practice. I applaud that.
Yeah, I think sometimes people will think, but we're against that. If they're in the private practice, we're not.
We absolutely are not. We want them here. We need them here. This is our community.
Right.
Our community needs to recruit and retain talented physicians.
We need providers in the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, man, Johnny, I could talk to you all day. We're not even scratching the surface of all the things I wanted to cover, but we're running out of time. Let me just wrap up with saying this. You're clearly a talented businessman, but That's not what makes you special. What makes you special is your heart for people. That's what makes you special. But I'm thankful for both. I'm thankful for your business mind and what you've done at United Regional. And not only is the organization and its employees, but my family personally is a beneficiary of the work that you guys do. And shout out to your team for them. Shout out to your directors, Michael and Charity. Charity, you stole from me, by the way.
Oh, I did. You still haven't got over there yet.
Yeah, no, I'm still bitter.
I'm not
about
above
that
doing that. I'm not above doing that.
She's talented, so I don't blame you.
I'm not above doing that at all.
Michael Gardner is one of my favorite people. Charity, and then the whole team are just incredible. But you built that team, and so thank you for visiting with me today. Anything you needed to talk about that I didn't let you cover today?
No, just right back at you. And this is to everybody out there. 90% of doing enjoying what you do is enjoying the people you do it with, and that's what's cool about United Regional, right? And I feel so blessed, and I don't get to work with the 2,600 folks that we have now that are employing United Regional. But I'll tell you what, the folks over the course of the past 20 years that I've had the joy to work with, it's part of the reason that you can have that sort of resilience, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's you got to enjoy being part of those people's lives. So you've been one of those guys too.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
All right.